Hi, my name is Cece, and on behalf of Scrapbook Central, welcome to another Tutorial Tuesday. So today I'm going to have a lot of fun presenting this project to you. It is a canvas that I did on a burlap panel from the Tim Holtz collection, the District Market collection. I'm going to get dirty with some Dylusions inks and some gesso and some gel medium, and I'm going to be stamping, and yeah. From the Tim Holtz District Market collection, a burlap panel. A stamp set from PaperArtsy. It is number HP 1105EZ, the corresponding dies. I have the large oak leaf die, the small oak leaf die, as well as the spotty dragonfly. From Little Yellow Bicycle, the stick pins and the cork tags, the circles, burlap shapes, the Romans 6x6 stencil by Artist Seller. It is number ACS039. The following Dylusions ink spray, Pure Sunshine, Melted Chocolate, Camp So Teal, and Fresh Lime, the Gold Lame Color Shine by Heidi Swap, a water mister, Jet Black Archival ink, a large piece of watercolor paper. This one measures 9 by 12, as well as another piece of watercolor paper. This one measures 5 by 5. Some white tissue paper, light molding paste, regular gel medium, white gesso, a paintbrush, a palette knife, a bucket of water, a heat tool as well as a non-stick craft mat, a heat gun, as well as your personal die cutting system. With the tissue paper, I want to create some texture on the burlap background, or burlap panel. So I'm going to tear this paper, and I'll be gluing this down, kind of like crunching it as I go and giving it some texture. So I'll make sure to keep that raw burlap showing through. So I just want to eliminate the straight edges from the tissue paper. I'll be adhering this with the gel medium. Okay, so now I'm going to dry this up with my heat tool. Now I'm going to add gesso all over that. Again, I'm going to stay away from the edges. So this is how it looks like so far. I'm going to dry this again. So the next step is to add some more texturing with the stencil. I have a palette knife right here and my molding paste. You can use, I'm using light molding paste because this just happens to be what I have on hand. You can use any type of molding paste, whether it's light or heavy. Now this time I went on the edges. I forgot about it, but honestly I really don't mind, so I'm going to leave it like that. So I'm going to go wash up my stencil while my paste is drying, and I'll be right back. Okay, so this is all dry, and I want you to see the beautiful texture I get from both the tissue paper and the molding paste. And the good thing about light molding paste is that it doesn't really take long to dry, so that's one benefit. So so far I've kept it pretty clean, but now we're about to get dirty. I'll start with the fresh lime. I might add a bit of Calypso Teal, but I'm not sure yet. I'll do fresh lime and a bit of water if I feel that it's too heavy. And I'm just gonna start spraying. And I'll make sure that I'm hitting the burlap Oh, look at that color. Isn't that yummy? Maybe I'll add some teal. Just, oh yeah. Definitely. All right. And I might zap it a little bit with some water just to get the colors moving a little bit, but not too much. I love how, as you can see here, let me do a close-up so you can see what I'm talking about. Look at this here. Look at that texture that we're getting from the tissue paper and the spray. It's more concentrated in within the cracks, or not the cracks, but the pleats of the paper, and it's just beautiful. I think I'm going to add a little bit more here, and maybe a little splash of teal right here. Perfect. Okay, so while this is drying, I'm not going to zap it with the heat tool. I don't think I need it for now because we need to spray more things. We're going to work on our watercolor paper. And while I have my green and teal out, I will start with the 5x5 piece, and I will spray kind of like, actually, you know what? I'm going to start with some water. I'm going to wet my paper just a little bit because I don't want the color to be too, I want the colors to really move on this. Maybe a little bit more teal. Yeah, that's good. It's good. Maybe I can play with that. Oh, look at this. See, when I get these, I love it. I have my big watercolor paper. This is a full sheet. And for this one, I'm going to be using the melted chocolate and, what's it called? Pure Sunshine. And I believe I will wet this just a little bit with the water. Oh yeah. Again, adding more water, and this paper will get saturated with some colors. Okay, so this, I kind of want to let it dry on its own. So I'm going to do that fully and then I'll be right back. While my other watercolor paper is drying, this green and blue one is ready. And I'm going to grab the dragonfly from our stamp set. I have it mounted on a block here. I'm going to be stamping this with jet black archival ink. And I'm just going to choose a spot that I like, and the colors will be peeking through the design on the dragonfly. So I'm probably going to aim for a good variety of color, and I think I will be doing it right here. The cool thing about this stamp set is that all of these images, except for this one and the words, have matching dies. So I have the small oak leaf, which matches this stamp. I have the large one, and the dragonfly obviously matches what we just stamped. I have the heart here, which I'm not going to use, but I brought it to show you. And unfortunately I didn't have the bird to show you, but it does exist. So it's a good stamp set to have. It's very versatile. It's got different types of images. So I'm going to die cut this with the dragonfly die. And you've seen me do that before. where I create a mask in another paper and then I layer the paper over top and then the dye over it. So I'm going to do the same. I have a blank sheet of watercolor paper here. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to place my dye down and I'll just put a bit of washi tape just to keep it in place. And I'll pass this through my die cutting machine. So I've just created a mask, and now I'm going to put my piece of that I stamped and putting the mask over it. So now I'm just going to secure the die onto my piece. I'm going to put another piece of washi tape on my paper like so, and then I'm going to cut this. And there's the dragonfly. Fun. Alright, so this is what my paper looks like when it's all dry. And as you can see the shimmer from the color shine, which is absolutely gorgeous. And the tones of brown and the yellow. So now I'm going to stamp the small oak leaf and the large oak leaf repeatedly on this paper. But I'll make sure that I leave enough space to accommodate the die because we're going to die cut each of those. So what I would suggest is that you stamp and die cut as many of both leaves as possible. Then you can just pick whichever you'd like the best, and because we're going to put several on the burlap frame. So there's my sheet fully stamped. Now I'm going to die cut all these, but before I do that, obviously I need to make a mask for these two dies. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Before I start gluing the pieces onto my canvas, I just want to do one last little bit of stamping. And I took a cork tag and I'm going to just add a bit of gesso, kind of like very sketchily, if I can say it that way. And the white space will be where I'm going to add the sentiment. So I'm just going to draw it really quickly. And I have the word imagine from the same stamp set. And I'm going to stamp that right on the tag. And I don't want it straight, so I'll make it crooked. There we go. Intentionally. I love how that looks. And now I can start adding my pieces. Now, I played with it a little bit prior to starting filming, just so that I would have an idea of where I want to put the leaves. So I'll end up taking just two large leaves, and I sort of want it going up this way. So I'm just going to start adding. And for that, I will take my glue gun because it dries fast. Now, you also might want to decide to curl your leaves. And I should have done that before. So I'm going to do the rest. Okay, now this canvas circle will be added with foam adhesives. The reason is that I want to be able to stick those hat pins in there. Oops. Okay, So this is going to be, I don't want it in the middle, kind of like off to the side here. So here's the tag with sentiment on it, and I'm going to glue this right over the burlap circle, like so. And the dragonfly will be glued down right over, just close to the word like this. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to put some glue here, like on the body here, and then I'm going to add 2 foam adhesive underneath his wings. Well, I lied. I was going to add the stick pins underneath the canvas circle, but I think I'm going to add them like that, and I have enough hot glue to be able to stick the pins in there. There we go. Look at the shine of the leaves. Aren't they gorgeous? Ugh, I love that stamp set. I really, really do. I like the way they did the images. They're not full images, but it's not only an outline art that they put on their stamps. They actually have patterns. Like every single image has a pattern, and it makes it for a very interesting product, especially for mixed media artists or art journalers out there. This is perfect. Of course, card makers can also use that. Love the sentiment. There's 2 other sentiments in the set. One says create and the other one dream, but I just love how just, you know, those cork tags are so easy to use. I could have stamped directly on this, but I really wanted the sentiment to stand out. So just one little brush of gesso and all of a sudden your sentiment pops. Love the texture I got from the tissue paper and the molding paste, and those sprays. I'm sorry, I'm ranting and raving, but I really, really like this project. By the way, we have different sizes of these burlap panels at the store. It'd be great. I think we have 12 by 12, if I'm not mistaken. But it'd be great to make a big canvas, and in fact, I might do that. So that is it for today. I hope that you've enjoyed this tutorial. As usual, thanks for watching. If you have any questions or comments, leave them below, and I will see you later. Bye.